Hello everyone. Myself CS Deepak Amrutkar, practicing company secretary, Mumbai. This is my first YouTube video on my YouTube channel. The name of my channel is The Corporate World. This YouTube channel will help and useful to practicing chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, company directors, students of the profession, and stakeholders at large. This YouTube channel will uh, provide various videos on corporate laws, company law, and related laws. The first topic and first video on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Corporate World, is regarding corporate social responsibility. It is regarding Form CSR1, which is introduced with effect from 1st April 2021 by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now, let us understand the contents and detailed practical aspects of Form CSR1. Let us go through Section 135 of Companies Act 2013. I will read out the section so that you will understand the basic concept of what says corporate social responsibility, in short CSR. Now I will read out the section. Every company having net worth of rupees 500 crores or more, or turnover of rupees 1000 crore or more, or net profit of rupees 5 crore or more. These are three criteria. During any financial year, the word is important, any financial year, shall constitute a corporate social responsibility committee of the board consisting of three or more directors, out of which at least one director shall be an independent director. This is the basic provision of CSR. Now the next point in the section is the board's report. Board's report means director's report under section 3 of section 134 shall disclose the composition of the corporate social responsibility committee. It means every director's report under section 134 of the Company Act 2013 shall mention the composition of corporate social responsibility committee. It's who are the members of the committee. Now the third point is the corporate social responsibility committee shall what they will do, what the CSR committee will do. First point, formulate and recommend to the board a corporate social responsibility policy which shall indicate the activities to be undertaken by the company as specified in Schedule 7. Now, this is the first duty of CSR committee to formulate policies. How the funds, CSR funds, shall be spent. Means the policies will be framed. Policies will be framed. Then the second point is recommend uh, recommend the amount of expenditure to be incurred on the activities referred to in clause A, means how much amount shall be spent. Then the next point is to monitor the corporate social responsibility policy of the company from time to time. Now, it is the review of corporate social responsibility policy undertaken by or framed by CSR committee. Now, the next point is the board of every company shall, refer to under section 1, shall, after taking into account the recommendations made by the committee, by the corporate social responsibility committee, approve the corporate social responsibility policy for the company and disclose the contents of the policy in the report and shall place it on the corporate website if any of the company. Means whatever the CSR policy, it should be placed on the website of every company. Now the next point is ensure that the activities as are included in CSR policy of the company is undertaken by the company. Now the next point is the board of every company referred to in section 1 shall, what all they will do, ensure that the company spends in every financial year at least 2% of the average net profit of the company. This is basic concept. 2%, at least 2% of the average net profit of the company made during the three immediately preceding financial years in pursuance of its corporate social responsibility policy. 2% of net profit is, please keep it in mind. Now, the next point is provided that the company shall give preference to the local areas and areas around it where it operates for spending the amount earmarked for corporate social responsibility activities. Now, this point covers the where the company's registered office is situated, that area and surrounding area, that is local area, shall be given preference for spending the CSR funds. Next point is provided further that if the company fails to spend such an amount, the board shall, in its report made under clause 3 of subsection 134, specify the reasons for not spending the amount. Means when it is the responsibility of the committee to spend given amount, but if it fails to spend the amount, then it should mention the reasons for not spending. The reasons may be so many reasons. Now, Schedule 7 of the Companies Act is very important, which prescribes areas of corporate social, corporate entities that can contribute towards CSR activities. These are areas where companies can spend CSR funds. Now we will move ahead to next points. Now we will step by step understand uh, Form CSR 1 introduced with effect from 1st April 2021, effective to applicable to every company which are entitled to spend CSR funds. Now the five types of entities which are covered, let us go one by one. Company established under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 with Section 12A and Section 80G registration under the Income Tax Act 1961. This is the first entity. Entity means an organization. Section 8 company, earlier it was known as Section 25 company under Section Companies Act 1956. And this Section 8 company should have Section 12A and 80G registration under Income Tax Act. This is mandatory. Now the next point is registered public trust with Section 12A and Section 80G registration under the Income Tax Act, which is mandatory. Now public trusts are defined under Trust Act. These are also trusts which spend money on CSR. They are also entities entitled to spend CSR funds. And the next point is company established under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013 or registered trust or registered societies established by the central government or state government. Now societies, registered societies come into picture. Having Section 12A and Section 80G registration under Income Tax Act. And next entity is entity established under an act of parliament or state legislature. कोई भी state government or central government establish करती है कोई entity, so that entity shall also be covered. These are the basic 5 entities. So to sum up, all these entities shall have basic registration under Section 12A and 80G of Income Tax Act 1961. Now next point is, it can be observed that registration of an entity with respective government authorities like registration under Public Trust Act or registration under Societies Registration Act or registration under Companies Act 2013 is a prerequisite for registration as an entity in this form, in the CSR form. This is the basic requirement, registration under respective act. Now we will move ahead the contents of the form. The next requirement of Form CSR 1 requires whether the entity is established by any company or group of companies. This sentence is very much important. See, the CSR requires whether the entity is established by any company or group of companies. Group of companies form various companies for this purpose. The purpose seems to identify promoters or persons involved in the registration of such entities. Identification of such promoters is important. The details need to be mentioned in the prescribed column. The identity of an entity can be established through CIN. CIN means Corporate Identity Number, a unique registration number which can be fulfilled in a given form. See, every company has CIN number that which automatically fulfills the name of company. It enables transparency. The registration number of society or a trust need to be mentioned in given column. Means three entities, Section 8 company, registered trust and registered society have respective identification number that should be mentioned in form. The next point is, if aforesaid entities are not established by any company or group of companies, then the entity needs to have an established track record of 3 years in undertaking similar activities need to be mentioned in form CSR1. Now, what this means? This means we can interpret like this. If Section 8 company or registered society or registered trust are not promoted by or established by any company or group of companies, then such entities shall have a 3-year track record for undertaking CSR activities. This is the second condition. This is the second condition. Now, other contents of the form. Let us understand what are the other contents. It includes incorporation, date of incorporation or registration date, registered office of entity, email address of the entity for confirmation of OTP. OTP means one time password. Whenever we fill up all the forms, one email will be sent to registered email address given in the form, and also for sending further communication, whatever future correspondence, any notice or any other communication will be sent to this email address. Now, next point to be mentioned in the form is PAN number of an entity and details of directors, board of trustees and authorized representative of an entity need to be mentioned in CSR form 1. These details help in ascertaining the existence of an entity. These are basic details: PAN number, CIN number, which identifies the existence of an entity. Now, the next point is what the documents we should consider while filling up the form. Copies of certificate of registration of respective entity, self-attested by authorized signatory of an entity, need to be attached mandatorily. This means Section 8 company do have a certificate of incorporation. Society registered under Societies Act do have a certificate of registration. Trust registered under Trust Act shall have a certificate of registration. These documents should be self-attested by authorized signatory of respective entity. PAN of entity self-attested that should be attached to the form. This will authenticate the validity of documents. Now, form CSR1. Next point is who should sign digitally? Digitally sign the form CSR1? One bar. Every entity shall have different authorized signatory. Let us understand. Any one of the directors of Section 8 company. Section 8 company run by directors. Any one of the directors. The next point is any one of trustees of registered trust. In case of trust, trustee of the registered trust shall digitally sign the form. Then by chairperson or secretary in case of registered society, managing committee, chairman, secretary, any one of them. Now, authorized signatory in case of an entity established under an act of parliament or state legislature. The company entity established under the respective act shall have an authorized signatory. That authorized signatory shall digitally sign the form. And next important point is a practicing professional like chartered accountant in practice or a cost accountant in practice or a company secretary in practice shall digitally sign the form, giving that all the details in the form are true and correct, and all the attachment to the form are correctly and legibly attached to the form. This is the basic contents of the form. Now, when all the details are filled up and digitally signed by respective entity, authorized signatory and practicing professional, then when all forms are correctly filled up and legibly attachments are given to the form, PAN card and registered certificate of an entity, it will be digitally signed and submitted. The form is STP mode. STP mode is straight to process. It's automatically approved. Then when CSR form is successfully processed, what will be impact? An acknowledgement of the same is sent to the user in the form of an email to the email address of the entity. Whatever the email address mentioned in the form, an acknowledgement to that effect, that form has been processed and acknowledgement letter will be issued to the respective email. This will complete the process. Now next point is the further digitally signed approval letter. See, this is all the process is online. So the digital signature, digitally signed approval letter along with CSR registration number with format in given format where X represents system generated unique sequential number will be sent to the user as well as the email address of the entity as mentioned in form CSR1. So, this is the approval certificate, just like our certificate of incorporation. This unique CSR registration number will be quoted everywhere, including letterhead of an entity concerned, means Section 8 company letterhead, registered trust letterhead, or registered societies letterhead. This will ensure CSR spent will be with authorized and registered entities with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. This is the whole summary of Form CSR1 which we discussed. Thank you. If you like the contents of my video, do like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Corporate World. If you have any constructive feedback, do mention in comment section.